It all started on a perfect summer evening. Golden hour was painting my backyard in hues of orange and purple. String lights draped gently above my patio. Tables were neatly arranged, and the scent of barbecue wafted invitingly through the air. I'd planned this night carefully. It was a special occasion, after all. My lifelong friend, Sergeant Mike Roberts, was finally retiring after 25 years of dedicated service to our local police force. I'd invited his closest friends from the precinct, officers, detectives, and even a few judges to celebrate a storied career in law enforcement. But what was supposed to be a quiet night of reflection and laughter quickly spiraled into a chaotic scene, thanks to none other than my new neighbor, Karen Montgomery, the stunning but notoriously entitled HOA president. An unwelcome guest. Karen was undeniably striking. Long platinum blonde hair, styled perfectly, piercing blue eyes, and designer clothes that could pay a mortgage. She had an aura of authority, but unfortunately, an even greater reputation for meddling in her neighbors' affairs. I'd seen her staring disapprovingly through her curtains as my guests began to arrive. Initially, I didn't think much of it. Maybe she was just curious. But around 7 p.m., the mood shifted dramatically. As laughter filled the air and soft music played, Karen suddenly stormed into my backyard uninvited. She clicked her high heels sharply against my patio tiles, phone already raised, recording our gathering. You realize this violates community noise regulations? She barked, her voice slicing through the joyful chatter. I try to stay calm. Karen, it's just a small party. It's a special occasion. Oh, it's special, all right, she snapped, her eyes narrowing. Especially loud, especially illegal, and especially against HOA guidelines. Before I could respond, Sergeant Roberts approached cautiously, still holding his glass. Is everything okay here? Karen turned abruptly, eyes locked on him. Who are you? Are you trespassing? Sergeant Roberts raised an amused eyebrow. No, ma'am. Just enjoying my retirement party. Retirement. She scoffed dramatically. Well, your retirement party is over because I'm calling the police. Karen dialed immediately. My guests, off-duty officers, judges, and detectives, watched in amused disbelief as Karen reported us. Yes, they're trespassing, holding an illegal gathering, and disturbing the peace. I want an immediate response, she demanded. She hung up, smugly confident. I warned you, she sneered. We stood quietly, sipping drinks, patiently awaiting the inevitable. Flashing lights soon appeared, casting a red and blue glow across the neighborhood. Karen's triumphant smirk grew brighter by the second. But as two uniformed officers walked toward us, recognition spread across their faces. The 911 call gone wrong. Mike. One officer laughed heartily, shaking Sergeant Roberts' hand. Congrats on retirement, buddy. Karen's smile faltered. Wait, you know these people? Know them, the officer chuckled. They're family. Mike trained half of us at the precinct. Karen's expression slowly turned to disbelief, her beautifully made-up face showing cracks of panic. But the HOA regulations, she protested weakly. The officer glanced around casually. Looks compliant to me. Actually, he said, his gaze turning serious, I see only one issue here, trespassing. Karen took a step back. Trespassing. Yes, he nodded. Your neighbors were within rights, but you came here without permission. You're the one who violated the law tonight. In the weeks leading up to this event, Karen had caused endless frustration across the community. Petty fines, absurd rules, relentless micromanagement. But this event became a tipping point. One of my neighbors, Mrs. Florence, an elderly woman Karen had harassed over gardening choices, approached the officers. Karen trespassed onto my property too, she murmured. Others stepped forward, sharing similar stories. Karen now looked visibly shaken, facing the neighbor she had targeted for months. Her facade of power crumbled swiftly beneath the growing outrage. You see, Karen, I said gently but firmly, rules should benefit the community, not become tools for personal vendettas. Karen lowered her eyes, suddenly silent, her earlier arrogance fading entirely. Justice served with a twist. Days later, an emergency HOA board meeting was convened. The community, now emboldened, overwhelmingly voted Karen off the HOA presidency, replacing her with a respected longtime resident named Mr. Sanders, a retired attorney. The aftermath brought renewed peace. Petty fines stopped, neighbors relaxed, and a feeling of freedom returned to the community streets. Even Karen, after the humiliation faded, seemed humbled, quietly keeping to herself and avoiding further conflicts. Sergeant Roberts' retirement became legendary, a symbolic turning point in the neighborhood, a community reborn. Months later, we held another neighborhood gathering, this time truly community-focused. Karen was there, surprisingly humble and reserved, offering polite greetings and even apologizing to a few neighbors. As the evening drew to a close, Karen approached me hesitantly. I didn't know the damage I was causing, she admitted quietly. I nodded. Maybe this was the wake-up call we all needed. She smiled faintly, nodding in agreement before slipping quietly away. If you've ever faced down an HOA, Karen, if you love seeing karma in action, or if you simply enjoy a good story of community justice, hit that subscribe button right now. Join the Mirror Moves family, where we share real-life drama, poetic justice, and stories you can't believe happened, except they did. Please drop a comment below if you've had a similar HOA run-in. Your story might inspire our next viral hit. Let's keep these stories coming, because everyone loves seeing an entitled Karen finally learn her lesson.